Hello everyone and welcome to our very first episode of Because I Am a Young Mom. Because I'm a young mom, let me be clear. Namaste to everyone who's watching this, and thank you so much for choosing to listen to me this day. Well, the reason I'm doing this YouTube channel, the reason why I'm doing this and speaking specifically for moms is because I am a young mother. I had my first child when I was 20. I was in campus, and you cannot imagine the prejudice. You cannot imagine how badly I was treated by a majority of people who used to be my neighbors, who used to be my relatives, who still are my relatives, but in essence, how they treated me does not probably constitute a relationship between people who would call themselves relatives, if you get what I mean. And I'm not speaking because I suffered and now I feel that I should be speaking about it. I have seen this happening to my sisters. My older sisters have had children since, I grew up with my nephews knowing that they were my brothers because of, we're almost the same age. So you can understand what I'm saying, how I've seen them being treated, my sisters. And my friends, my cousins, so many of my cousins are single mothers. Well, some of them were married, but they started out as single mothers. So today we are speaking about shaming the single mom. I mean, why do people think or feel that being a single mom makes you crazy? Like, why are you crazy in the first instance? Let me give you an example of a situation I had early last year, from around December 2015 to 2016 April. 2016 April. Well, I was working at a radio station. It was called, right now it's closed because of, what happened after I left. But it was called Nice FM. It was an online radio station. So many people of you have heard it. So many people were tuning in, and I hope you're tuning in to my show right now. I had an arrangement with the boss. At that time I had a 4-year-old. Right now she's 5. And I was alone. I was a single mother. Right now I'm married. So I was a single mother. I was living with my parents. And I really didn't like staying home because it makes me feel like I'm taking my parents back to where they came from. Remember I said that my parents have had children who have had children outside marriage, and they had to live with them until they were older. The children themselves, now my nephews, my nieces, until they were older. And I saw how depressing it was for my parents, and I really didn't want to put them through it. So I made an arrangement with the boss that I will be doing the night shows, but I'll be sleeping in the 7th quarter of the radio station so that I could be able to get to work on time. You understand that the house is just behind the studio. So it was just preparing my kid, sleeping for an hour, and then waking up at 3 a.m. to do my show up to 6 a.m. And then, life goes on. I have an afternoon show and whatnot. It was running perfectly. But now I got a lot of backlash. I got a lot of hate that was, people pretend that they like you. They talk to you. Oh, your daughter is so cute. But when you leave to the next door, I mean, you leave just a step and you leave them behind, you can just hear how much they're saying ugly things about you. They called me a prostitute. Number 1, I have tattoos. Number 2, I am just a free spirit. It's on very rare cases that you'll find me doing actually what I am told to do. I do what I am supposed to do, how I am supposed to do. Not because you said it, but because it has to be done like that. And I think that what makes me a leader. That is what makes me stand out. So these things really used to piss them off because I don't have any training in the media industry. I have been a journalist all my life, literally, in primary school, in high school, campus for the short while that I was there, acting. I've been acting set books for years, for about 7 years. And so my life revolves around media. So for me, the radio work was quite easy because it was even much easier because I was not being seen, I was being heard, and I have learned how to, intonations, variations, you understand what I'm saying, the drift. And this thing really pissed these guys off because they were like, we don't have anything else to complain about her. I mean, she's so perfect, she's doing her job well, she's beautiful, she's young, she has a beautiful body, she must be sleeping with the boss. So you find even the ladies, especially the ladies, treated me so badly up to now. And it's just recently that I was able to confront them, because I'm not the kind of person who will confront you for your opinions unless you are attacking my children. But since they were not attacking my children, they were attacking me, I was quite okay with that. I didn't really care about it. But then I came to understand that it's not only me who's going through this, and I'm not perfect, but at least I'm strong enough to ignore all that nonsense that is being said about single mothers being promiscuous, like they were sleeping alone. But coming back to reality, just to be clear here, I'm talking about my experience and the handful of the other single mothers I know, specifically women who have had children in relationships that have just ended terribly, or divorce, or that nature. No, I'm not talking about rape, the mothers who are single mothers due to rape or divorce. No, not divorce. I'm talking about divorce. I'm not talking about the ones whose husbands died. You understand? I'm only talking about the single mothers. And sometimes you don't even know these single mothers. You just see them raising their kids alone and you're busy judging them. But let's come back to reality. I'm talking about the women who I specifically know who have had children from relationships that have just ended terribly, that didn't work out. Single mothers, for one, are not promiscuous. If you want to say they're promiscuous, of course they were not slutting around alone. Unless we're saying they were stealing semen from the men and then going to inject them in their wombs, and then now they're mothers. Yeah, that's their business. Sleeping around with men, stealing the semen, inserting it in their wombs or injecting it in their wombs, and then now they're mothers. It would be very absurd for all of us to think like this. And it is very unfortunate that so many women think that being married, that because you are married, because you are in a relationship, you are more of a woman than the woman who is having children outside a relationship. Just to be clear, the Constitution provides equality for all women. They don't say for those women who are married, or for those women in relationships, or for those women who are single mothers. It cuts across all borders. So you'd better change that. And unfortunately, it's our religion that makes us feel this way. Yet I don't remember. Yeah, we're supposed to be married according to Christianity. Let me talk about Christianity because I was born a Christian. My parents are Christians. But in Christianity, you're told you have to wait till marriage to have children. How I understand marriage is not walking down the aisle or a pastor coming to bless you. The Bible itself says clearly, when a man leaves his father and his mother and unites with a woman and they become one, that is a union. And now, the reason why I condemn promiscuity is because I understand you have so many husbands and wives out here that you don't even know of. Because that's how the Bible defines marriage. And that's how I understand it. Otherwise, we would not be talking about the spirits that we inherit from, or the energies we get from the people we sleep with, if that was not true. So marriage is not necessarily that you have to be married in church or having your pastor bless you so that you can be married. At least and they'll feel like you're the most important person in this world, so now you can disrespect any woman who has not, good for you. Everyone, that's a princess's dream. Everyone wants to get married in church. Who doesn't want to get married in church? But it doesn't work like that for everyone. And then plus people have priorities and people think of life after marriage. So people ought to go to the AG. People opt for come with stay situations, which are now being considered legal after 6 months. If you've been living together, that is considered a marriage or a union, So let it not be confused that single mothers were not married. In actual sense, if you have already slept with someone, if you are not a virgin, you are married to someone, even for a second. Yeah, that's the harsh reality. However else you want to define it, there's a comment section down there. I'll be looking forward to your comments, by the way. So I find that single mothers are shamed because they don't have anyone to defend them. Because I give the example of when I was working at Nice FM and everyone was calling me a slut. Everyone thought I was sleeping with a boss, which was in actual sense was not true. I even had a boyfriend at that time. And he used to come to work and they knew him, but they still didn't recognize the fact that there was a man in my life. They still thought that I was sleeping with, this guy. How the situation worked out in the end, it was in my favor. But you see, these people still have this notion that single mothers are promiscuous. There's the option of having an abortion. I mean, abortions ni 2000. Unameza cytotech na mimba inatoka and you come back to being normal. You don't have to have children with so many people. But then who says everyone is of the opinion that I must kill my children to have fun? For me, abortion is murder. I am pro-life. And I am sorry for the people that I am offending who are pro-choice. But we have to be in touch with reality. Your reality is not my reality, but there's a reality that we all have to work with. And every person, every life is sacred. And coming from that point, I insist that every mother, forget every single mother, every mother deserves the respect that every woman needs to be given. Just like every woman. Yeah? They're not lesser people. Otherwise, we would be saying our mothers are lesser people for having us, even those who have been raised in single parent situations. Women who have had children out of marriage are very vulnerable people. People already assume that your parents are not going to defend you because I'm sure you've embarrassed them. Your siblings are not going to defend you because you've embarrassed them, and they obviously are not in agreement with the way you've chosen to live your life. Your uncles, because are my uncles and my aunts, oh my goodness, these are the people who believe you go to school, you read, once you've finished, and see at Nico finish too, you have to pass your exams. Once you have finished and passed your exams with flying colors, which I did, you go to campus, you finish properly, get another degree, have at least 2-3 degrees in proper studies, and not just that is doing any. Unfortunately, for the people who are doing fashion and design, that is not studies in our school, where I come from. That is not considered education. That is considered a pastime. I'm a music, and I love fashion and music, so don't get me wrong. But you see, in my family, those things are not considered as ati tumelipa school fees when usome fashion. I'm a music. What the heck? Can you go and do something like engineering, psychology, or something that is doctor-ish, yeah? Or engineer, someone. My point is, they know you don't have any backup other than from feminists like us. So it is easier for them to attack you. And I find it being very weak of those people who think that because women are, and it's, let's just say it is internal misogyny. You know that this person will not defend themselves because they already are ashamed. Ni kama wanakukumbusha makosa yako, something that is already hurting you, is hurting your child. They're using it against you to make you feel low about yourself. Do not listen to that nonsense. To every single mother out there, especially if you're a young single mother living in your parents' house or struggling to pay your fees or your bills or buy diapers or feed your child, this is an encouragement to you. I wish I could say my story in this episode, but this is not the episode that I chose to speak about my life. I have 2 children, and my story is very unique. I would not have imagined that it would have turned out like that. And the hate that I have received from the society just makes me feel like I need to have more children. I need to have more children so that they can keep talking, and then they change their mentality. Like, they need to understand, we don't care. We're not asking for sympathy votes. We are asking for equality in this generation. When we speak about single mothers, where are the fathers? This is a generation that forgets that we are the kind of music we are listening to, the kind of music that is penetrating our music industry right now is glorifying sex and drugs. So that means that the children who are growing up, or the men and the women who are being brought up in this society, even the older generation, are dancing to the same tune and are hypnotized by the same mentality that sex and drugs is a way to go. When you speak about conscious things, because I am a conscious poet, when you speak about conscious things, nobody is listening. People think you're speaking a lot of bullshit and you're wasting their time. I'm sorry for cussing, but for those who don't like this. But yeah, people think you're speaking a lot of nonsense. This is a society where Tim Mafisi ndio wale wase, you know? A man can look at a woman and not speak about what she's speaking about or what she's addressing, but speak about her as a sex object. Hey, cheki yo haga, cheki zo matinyo, cheki zo lips, you know? Cheki venye ni msexy, kona sexy eyes. We have been objectified, we have accepted to be objectified, and then now when the repercussions of this objectification, if there's such a word, comes to light, it is the woman who is to blame. We caved in to what the men wanted a long time ago. Let's not say it, there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun, but there can be a solution for everything that will work for more generations, including this situation where single mothers are being shamed. There has to be an answer where if our children find themselves judging their friends for being single parents, they will remember that our parents came up with a solution and this is how we need to work around it, and probably they will filter it and make it better to work even for the next generations. We cannot be close-minded about this when we are talking about people who have brought life, people who are adding to the economy, as in people who are women, mothers, spend so much. Like, we are the people who build this economy. We work hard, we build, we bring money to we bring revenue to the government because we pay our taxes. You know, when you're a mother, you have to do your things right. We are the best business people. And number 3, we promote businesses. So it is not just our businesses that grow. We promote other businesses like the supermarkets, diapers. Let's talk of the nano creams and whatnot. Toys. We are the people who are building this economy. So we are not the people who you should be shaming at all. And we are not going to be having abortions just to make you comfortable. You will have to get in line, because we are the future of the next generation, and we're not going to sit back and allow people to just judge people based on their moral opinions. If we want to get rid of this single parent nonsense, let us first create a solution for the social vices. Tim Mafisi, glorifying sex and dehumanizing the women, debasing their femininity just to make them look like all they're good for is their pussy, vagina. When people ask me, Ati, why didn't these single mothers take birth control? What if this woman was in a situation where she was sure this man is the man? You know, sometimes you are in an agreement, like when you get pregnant knowing that I am having sex without protection, so there is the possibility of not getting pregnant, of getting pregnant. If single mothers did not know this, then we would have had children with almost everyone we've had sex with. We know this. We know there is birth control. But then there is a situation where everything feels right. And like someone mentioned yesterday in the WhatsApp group, we do things because we feel they're right at that moment. And we cannot be judged for that because we go by our intuition. And at that time, your intuition told you, this is the right thing to do. Probably you're ready to settle down. So just have a conversation with this guy. And this guy also knew he was not wearing a condom when he was having sex with you. So he knew there is a possibility of this woman getting pregnant. And he accepted that. And he accepted that as a man. And he said it is okay if a child is coming. Now, when you're pregnant and you tell him you're pregnant, he accepts until later on. And some of them back out when the child is almost born, or after the child is born, so they bring issues because they're not ready to pay for the bills. They thought it was just going to be diapers, or this lady is going to take care of this child, or the parents are going to chip in. I think that is the mentality that people have. But when they see that all the burden is resting on them, not all of it, obviously, because the woman is taking her half, they chicken out. When people ask me, clearly these single moms don't know their cycle. They know their cycle. Like I mentioned it, they know their cycle. They take responsibility for their actions because they already knew what they were getting into in the first place. And you telling them and reminding them does not mean and does not exonerate the fact that they already knew. So single mothers are in actual sense very responsible people who stick to their guns to the letter or to the last minute, and they are not embarrassed of the situation. It is you who's trying to make them feel that they are lesser people because of choosing to have children in a generation where you'd rather be comfortable than have responsibilities, especially of taking care of a child, forget even a cat. Okay? And as we talk about single mothers, now let me talk to the single mothers. You know, half the time you're being blamed, and somehow we are to blame. When I see a single mother looking desperate, I wonder why. You already have the best gift in the world. You have the best motivation. Your child, the fruit of your womb. That is the only and best motivation you would ever have in this world. And so many people are looking for motivation that they don't have, because money only is not a motivation factor. So people want to substitute it with love or a boyfriend or going out. I need to look good. You need motivation to work hard. You have a constant motivation. Stop looking like you're desperate for anything. That is the reason why these people are attacking you. Stop looking like you're begging. Don't stop asking people for handouts. People tell me that I've been removed from so many WhatsApp groups because people tell me I advertise so many businesses a lot. That is me. That is how I believe I should survive. Anywhere I can make money, I will try and make money, even if it's 1 shilling. But I will never ask anyone for money unless, I don't know, it's a harambe or it's something very important, like when I was campaigning for senator. Forget about the circumstances that have happened for you to end up as a single mother and start thinking about where you want to be, how beautiful you want to look, how important you want your child to feel you are. Because believe me, no matter how stupid, low, desperate you feel, that child still looks at you as the most important person in their lives, and they still think you're the strongest person they've ever met. So you'd better live to his standards, to her standards. Stop asking people for handouts. Don't ask anyone for money. Ask them, are you going to buy what I am selling? Hata kama ni viazi karai. Hata kama ni vibanze kama hivi. You know? Do something, sell something. Always make sure you have some source of revenue coming in for yourself and for your children, even if it's 100 shillings a day, and save. And don't rely on one business. And you don't need a 9-to-5 job for you to be successful. I don't consider myself so successful, but I believe I'm successful because the person I am today is not the person I was last year. And this person that you're seeing today is not the person you're going to see next year. I have purposed to be a different person every day. Every day is a growing experience for me, and that is why I'm comfortable enough to speak to women, because I know for a fact that the things that I am speaking about are real and they affect real people, because I used to be a single mother. Right now I am married. But it changes very little if you're married in a situation, in a society where so many women are becoming single mothers, and you're hearing people talking about them in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, because the wearer of the shoe knows where it bites. And in conclusion, this is my advice to all the single mothers, other than making money. The next relationship that you're getting into, be it a sexual relationship, use your wisdom. You've already been there before. You're smarter than you think. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. I feel that so many men use single mothers as sex objects because they feel they've already been used before, so they won't mind being used again. And you, being that smart lady, you need to understand that you're not going to fall for that nonsense again. You already have someone who's depending on you. Like I said, my story is very unique. And so many people think that because I am so smart, I shouldn't have made such bad decisions. I don't think having children is a bad decision. I actually like it. Like I said, I want to have even more children so that people can understand. I really don't care. Be yourself. And by being yourself, be that person who you think you are, that people don't really understand who you are. Do not be ashamed of anything. Anything. Your parents might make you feel embarrassed because you've let them down. Your friends will obviously make you feel like you don't fit in anymore. And you'll be the topic of discussion for years to come, until now they get in the same predicament and understand that it is a situation that people find themselves in and then they do not choose. It's only in special cases that people choose. And I am so proud of you for choosing to keep that child. You do not understand. I am defending you because I am proud of you. I do not know you, but I feel you from the bottom of my heart. I do. And I will defend you for eternity, for as long as I can. But defending you and not empowering you is not good enough for us, for me as women. So take heart, my dear. This is because I am a young mom. There's a comment section. Please like, please subscribe, please comment. Whatever, we take all criticism as positive. If there's anything that you feel I did not touch on, if there's anything you feel like I should improve on, if there's any topic you'd like for me to discuss extensively, if you need this to be discussed extensively, I will. And my Twitter handle, by the way, is @olive_the_one. Those who are on WhatsApp, you can always inbox me. I always respond. I always give feedback. And if you feel that you need to be a contributing factor, this was just our first episode and I had to do it alone so that we can remove the shaming of the single mother from the topic. So that now when you're becoming more aggressive in our conversations, we will not be talking about this as an issue again, but just as a by the way, because we've already addressed it, and I've addressed both sides, the people who are shaming and the single mothers. And also the parents to single mothers, you need to accept those children. They're a blessing, and you'll understand later